Hey YouTube, so today I'm going to show you how I did this rubber band and twist hairstyle. If you can't cornrow, don't worry, I got you. I'll show you how you can make this style look really nice and it almost looks like you've done cornrows and twists. So first of all, I start by parting my line. So I've parted the hair into two equal parts from the front of the head to the nape, and then now I'm doing my first line by the nape. So on this line I'm going to do 2 twists. So basically what I did was I parted the hair into 2, and then I'm going to put the rubber band on the first one. However, there's something I noticed while doing this style. If you've got a child with a lot of hair, I would recommend using rubber bands on the scalp on each section you do, so not just on the first one. So on each section. So I wrap the rubber band around this one, and then I go ahead to join it to the next section. So this is what I was explaining. So I would recommend putting the rubber band on the roots of this one, the second one, but I didn't do that. I just added it. But then I noticed that as I began to do more, it began to get quite bulky. But for my daughter, she doesn't have much hair, so I could have gotten away with it, but I still wanted the style to look sleek. But if you've got a child with a lot of hair, definitely do the rubber bands on the scalp first. Now, if you're worried about rubber bands breaking your child's hair, put some oil on the rubber bands and don't do it too tight. To be honest with you, I've not found any breakage with rubber bands because I don't do it too tight. These rubber bands were quite slack, so you might see me doing it up to 6 times or 7 times. I would recommend, if your rubber bands are really intact, the elasticity of the rubber bands are intact, then I'll recommend doing it 3, 4, 5 times maximum. So between 3 and 5 times on each section. So it's all up to you, and it's all up to the size of the hair as well. So like I explained, I basically cut the section and then roll the hair a bit and then put it. So if you notice, the hair is getting quite bulky. This is why I'm rolling it, and I wasn't really happy with the result. So you're going to see in the next line what I'm going to do. So once I've put the rubber bands on here, this is going to be 3 twists. So 1, 2, 3. I'm twisting the last one now, but as you see, it looks a little bit disorganized by the roots. As you can see, it's not looking too neat, and I kind of really wanted the sections to show, just to give it that nice clean effect. Anyway, before doing the next line, I went to do my heart shape. So cut your heart shape how you like. I just cut it this size. You can cut it smaller, however you like, but this was the size I went for. I put the rubber bands and I twist that one away as well. On this one, we're going to put beads at the end of it, but on the rest of the hair, we didn't put beads. So that is all done. I'm doing my next line like I had earlier said, and when I cut this line, I just go ahead and cut into little boxes again, into 4 sections. I'm starting with the first one here, and I put my rubber bands on again. See, I did it a few times, but like I said, the rubber band is really slack. It was an old one. So I went and joined it, but like I said, because I'm doing 4 sections here, it's proved so difficult, and it was looking quite bulky and not very tidy, and I did not like how it looked. So even if I went ahead and did it all, I eventually took them down. You'll see what I'm saying. So literally I add that one quickly and see how bulky it's now beginning to look. But if you're going for this look, it's still all right. It all depends on the look you're going for and how you feel about it. So look, that looks quite bulky to me, and I didn't really like it. So that made me take them all down and twist them individually. So I literally put the rubber bands on each section individually and twist it. Can you see what I've done? But then I gave a little gap. Can you see the gap I gave before twisting? And then now I'm going to then add these ones together. This makes it really quicker, to be honest with you, because it just makes your work not too hard. Like, especially as I explained, if your child has a lot of hair, if you're doing it this way, you find it easier to manage. And then how your rubber bands are. My rubber bands just get cotton. I'm going to get good rubber bands, and I'll give you guys the link on where to find these rubber bands. But mine, the ones I was using here, I just wanted to get, just use them and know I've done them. Look at how that is looking. That looks quite pretty. So I've gone to the next section and I carried on doing the individual sections with rubber bands, leaving a little gap and then twisting. Can you see how those two are looking that I've done so far? So I bring my hands down before twisting so that when I'm, joining the sections, it now looks quite uniform, not just the twist showing, if you get the drift. So I'm going to join this now as usual. So this just makes my work easier, to be fair, and who doesn't like easy work? And then we just go ahead and do the next section. So all you need to know is how to twist for this hairstyle. The rest of it, is very, very straightforward, you can see. So another section, and I'm just carrying on doing what I did earlier. Just be careful when you pull. Can you see that my daughter's hair is pulling a little bit tight? I went ahead and loosened that out later on, but my daughter has fine strands and she has follicles that inflame easily, so be cautious when you're using rubber bands on the scalp. Like I said, don't wrap it too tight, manage the tension on the scalp. So I'm pretty much around the end of this first half of the hair, so I've put rubber bands on all of them. I go ahead and join them as usual, adjusting the pressure or the tension of the rubber bands on the scalp. And then once that is all done, I'm going to add my gold cuffs, which gave the hair some character, so to speak. So I put the crowns. She really loved this part of the hair. Even when they fell out after the first day, I had to put them and make them tighter. She really loved the crowns and the gold cuffs. So it's all up to you how you want to accessorize it. You don't need to put these, but we wanted to put this to finish off the hairstyle. So that's everything. We did it on both sides, exactly the same thing. Just the difference was the beads and the heart shaped and the beads on one side. We didn't put it on the other side. So just one side had the heart shape. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.